I want to ask one question before we move into our play performance of the week and team of the week. Is everyone, especially the French, everyone is coming out and trying to downplay this Wallabies performance because they're saying, oh, it's the French B team or French C team, some people are saying, and like you should have beaten them. But I also want to point out that there is still players out for Australia who were down a red card for 75 minutes. Dungunu out as well. And like I said, the injuries and people just not being able to play in this game or this series overall. Like this wasn't our A grade team. What would you say? Would you agree? Would you disagree in regards to the statement of the Wallabies being downplayed because of this not being a straight up French team?
I'm one of those people. I don't like the terminology of like a B team or a
It's
C
disrespectful
team.
to the play. It is.
Oh,
It's disrespectful
exactly.
to the players.
Like, because at the end of the day, the way I look at it, like, even if there was the youngest player, well, not the youngest player in New Zealand, he's probably just come out of the womb, but like a young player for New Zealand brought into the All Blacks, like, and you don't go, oh, he's a D grade player who's just been pushed up there. Like, you go, he's in the All Blacks jersey.
I feel
And
just quickly go in here. I feel it might be a defense mechanism against being able to be insulted by the other team. I think it's a defense mechanism to say like, okay, this guy's young. If he's good, I'm going to take advantage of how good he is and say how good he is, and it really helped the team. If he's bad, I can blame him.
yeah, we've seen it in the past before with young players pretty much getting absolutely just destroyed.
Yeah.
Like, but it's one of those ones I feel like normally, like, no matter what, I always look at a team as the team, if that makes sense, rather
Absolutely.
than like kind of the grade of some of the players. Yes, they'll have young players, like everyone does in these matches, because of the fact that it's all about trying to grow those younger players into like they're going to be the guys who are going to be stars in 5 years' time. That you're going to be buying all their merchandise and like getting their name on the back of your shirt.
Yeah.
Because like, but to give them a chance, you got to get them into up against opposition like that are at that next level kind of thing. If that makes sense. I feel like I'm
No,
rambling.
I get what you're saying, but I will say this. Like, I say it. I do. I say Welsh C team, Australian B team, French C team, whatever. But I do find that it would be like, how do you think those French lads feel? How they've
Mm.
had such a good performance. They've had such a good performance for 3 games. No, maybe not the third game per se, because they did obviously come up against a man down 75 minutes. But, they had such a good 3-game series, and yet all people are talking about is, oh, these guys aren't that good. This is just the C team. You wait till the actual good guys come in. And say,
Mm.
well, what the shit? These guys have just been fantastic for the last 3 games, and you're against a good Australian team. Like, how much do you really think the French improve? The French did well, but the Wallabies are still going to be in that series the entire time, and they're still probably going to win game 1, in my personal opinion. Actually, no, maybe not game 1, sorry. Realistically, the French threw that one away, and maybe the experience probably would have got them over the line. So I disagree with myself there. But then if you give them a full-strength French team, the thought, like the way you go into a game and mentally process a game, that game could be completely different. That whole series is completely different if you have the full-strength French team, and then you have a
Yeah.
full strength Australian team. The whole series is different. The gameplay, every single aspect of the game has changed. How do you know that they win instead of losing? Because the game wouldn't be probably a 3-point game in the end. It could be a blowout. It could be a 2-point game. It could be a 5-point game. The whole game has changed. So I hate the thought process of they would have won if they had these players in, because it just changes the whole dynamic and every aspect of the game. Do you understand what I'm saying there?
Yeah. It also puts a lot of extra pressure on those players
To come
to
back and
then
have an
come back.
unbelievable
Yeah.
performance.
And it's one of those ones, yes, it's tough. Like, I feel like I'm glad I watch it from here and I'm not one of those players out on the field, because like the amount of pressure, like to be able to perform in that jersey, definitely when you are getting called like a C-class player,
Yeah.
like if you have a good game, then, they might upgrade you to a B, but you're still not as good as this fella who's like been out for 6 months with a leg injury.
Yeah.
Like,
I just want to say I give massive credit to the French team. I do. I give massive credit to the French team for, although they might not have had the team they necessarily wanted to put out there, their depth is very good, and the players that they have can compete. I reckon this team could compete with some of those big guys. I really do. I think that this French team, some of the lads that we saw coming through the ranks, could honestly compete for the spots with the big guys.